Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're talking about a topic that is extremely dark. It is the darkest topic that I've covered thus far, but it is urgent. You know, I was extremely hesitant to talk about it, but it can't wait. It simply can't wait because we really don't know when our last day is. And you guys deserve to know the truth. The sole purpose of this channel, why I created this channel, is to get you guys the truth no matter what. You know, I don't care about likes. I don't care about subscriptions. I care about your soul. Here's the thing, guys. The reason why I'm making this video is because there's a lot of people out there that don't believe hell is real. They don't believe hell is real, or they believe that hell is a state of mind. Okay, this is all pure deception. Hell is absolutely real, and it is the biggest threat to humanity. Bigger than World War III, bigger than an asteroid blowing up the entire planet, because guess what? Those things are temporary. Hell is forever. And the sad reality is that most of society is going there once they pass away. My whole objective, one of my main missions with this channel in my life really, is to try to save people from ending up in this truly horrifying place that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy, guys. See, the thing is, guys, is that most people don't realize the seriousness of hell. They get their ears tickled by their pastors only talking about the love and aspects of God, which is fine. There's definitely that aspect of God, but you have to also realize that He is a God of justice. And if we don't stay focused and veer off the straight path, there's a very real danger that we could end up down there. God forbid. By the way, I'll be posting Quran and Bible verses throughout the video backing up what I'm saying. So what is hell? Hell is one of the three realms created for humans, the first being earth. Earth was created to test our character and faith. And then we have heaven. Heaven is a realm of unlimited pleasures, where you could literally have anything you ever want for all time, forever. Okay, this was created as a reward for our good conduct, righteousness, and our faith. And then we have hell. Hell was created specifically for the torture of the human body, the mind, and the spirit. It was created as a means of punishment for disbelief as well as wickedness. So what does hell look like? Hell has 7 gates, with each gate having worse and worse punishments depending on what you did throughout your life. The Quran describes hell as a raging blaze with sparks the size of castles. So you can only imagine how massive this place really is. And you might be asking, what exactly is fueling this fire? As the Quran says, the people of hell will be the firewood to the fire. The air is going to be filled with black smoke. So much smoke that you won't be able to breathe. If you want to sort of like envision trying to breathe in hell, it'll be like just like that. It's absolutely horrifying. And on top of that, you're going to have no strength in hell. You'll barely be able to walk. You're going to be in a perpetual state of thirst. The way I can best describe this is if you ever have those dreams where you're really thirsty and you're trying to drink water in the dream and it doesn't do anything, you're still thirsty. It's very similar, but it's actually even worse because in hell, you do have things to drink, but it's boiling hot water that never cools down, that when you drink it, it's gonna give you 3rd-degree burns all over your mouth, your intestines, all that stuff. / you have the option of drinking blood and pus. That's the other option in hell. Very disturbing, I know. One thing you have to realize, guys, is that in hell, you cannot die. Meaning that even though your flesh is completely burned off and it's just you with a skeleton, your skin is gonna regrow right back. Why is that? It's because in hell, you are in eternity. Meaning that time doesn't work like the way it works here. Time is linear here. Over there, it's eternity. And eternity has its own rules. You might be thinking, okay, you know, you'll be in hell and maybe you can suffer for other people, make some friends, maybe like in prison, right? People meet people, they become friends or whatever. That's absolutely not gonna happen because in hell, people are in cells, just like they are in prisons here. They're in cells, they're chained up to their cells, and they're in solitary confinement. All right, so you can see other people, but you're not going to be able to talk to them. So you're going to be not only tortured alive forever, burning alive forever, you're also going to be secluded, alone, just having your own thoughts, thinking about all the regret that you have of wasting your time on earth, sinning, not repenting, never building that relationship with God, not treating people kindly. Okay, because you have to remember, guys, that hell is not just created to torture your body. It's created to torture your mind and your spirit. Okay, and the spiritual torture is the regret that you're going to feel looking back on your life and what you did wrong and how you could have lived your life better so you didn't end up in this situation. So let's look into some of the reasons why people end up down there. All right, so the number one reason people end up in hell is gossiping. Most people think that gossiping is harmless. It's a victimless crime. It's fun. Give me some of the tea. Spill the tea. These people are 100,000% deceived, guys, because when you're gossiping about other people, you are quite literally cursing that person. And in return, you're cursing yourself. Number two, unforgiveness. Guys, if you can't forgive people, how is God supposed to forgive you? Number three, lust. So I'm also going to throw in adultery and self-pleasuring in this category. So guys, just like Jesus says in the Bible, if your right eye causes you to sin, it's better to pull it out and throw it away, because it's better to lose your eye than to have your whole body thrown into the hellfire. This is 100% facts, guys. Jesus is not exaggerating, okay, because we tend to downplay in the West, especially, we tend to downplay the gravity of lusting over other people. You know, you go to Muslim countries, women are covered completely head to toe because this is how serious of a sin lusting is. Okay, because lusting corrupts your soul. All right, it's the same thing as watching pornography. All right, when you lust, you're having sexual thoughts about the person on the opposite sex. All right, when you're watching pornography, you're corrupting your soul. And people who watch a lot of pornography then tend to go down this massive rabbit hole of pervasiveness that destroys their life completely. All right, this is not by coincidence, guys. These people are completely engulfed in sexual demons. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18 says, a sin of sexual immorality is a sin against one's own flesh. All right, what's he talking about? He's talking about adultery, and he's also talking about self-pleasuring. All right, these things are, again, it's super common in North America for men and women to cheat on their spouses. Adultery, if you did it way back in the day, 2,000 years ago, you would have been stoned to death. Okay, but all of a sudden, it's normalized to cheat on your spouse. You know, self-pleasuring. It's bad, guys. It's really, really bad, and we need to realize the situation, and we got to turn it around. Okay, and trust me, we can turn around. If you guys, because I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit of a personal story here. I used to watch porn all the time. I used to fornicate all the time. I used to self-pleasure all the time. But guess what? I stopped watching porn. I stopped self-pleasuring. I stopped fornicating. I got married. I had children. And I'm happily married with the woman of my dreams. Okay, so if I can do it, you can do it as well. And I promise you guys that once you make this change, that God will bless you. And at the same time, you are saving your soul from going down there and then making it to paradise. All right, guys, it might seem really hard, and it is hard at first, especially the corn part. But trust me, you just gotta have that will. You gotta pray to God that He gives you the strength to stop doing that to yourself, and you will make it, I promise you. Number 4, idol worshiping. So this doesn't necessarily mean worshiping other gods, lowercase g. This could also mean worshiping money, worshiping yourself, things of that nature. Number 5, abandoning God / atheism. Being ungrateful towards the Creator that gave you life, or even worse, having animosity towards Him, is the easiest way down there. Number 6, ignorance. So guys, this is the most common way that people are going to end up down there. Satan is so good at deceiving. He is the master of deception times 1 billion quadrillion. He's a black belt in deception jitsu, 1 millionth degree black belt. So it's super easy for the average person to be deceived. Now, this is also the most fixable, the easiest to fix out of all these reasons, okay? Because a lot of these people simply just don't have any guidance. They don't have that one person that's gonna lead them the way, right? They're also surrounded by people. I'm not gonna insult these people, but they're surrounded by other people that don't know any better. So again, it's up to us, the people that do know the truth, to guide them to the light and save them, because these are the people that unfortunately will make up most of down there, and they're the least deserving inhabitants of down there. So who is going to hell? Well, there's three classes of people that are going to go to down there. First, we got the wicked. No explanation needed for these people. Second, we have the hypocrites. So the hypocrites are the people that pretend to worship God. They pretend that they have faith. They do this for several reasons, but most notably is to give off that image that they are highly righteous, moral people. But behind closed doors, they're sinning with the worst of them. So God has mentioned several times in all of the scriptures that he really disdains hypocrites, and that the lowest parts of hell are reserved for hypocrites. Last but not least, guys, this last group of people are going to make up the vast majority of the population down there. And the sad part is that a lot of people don't deserve to go down there at all. Okay, but the thing is, Lucifer is such a master deceiver that a lot of these people don't have a chance. And that's where we come in. So, last category, guys, disbelievers. These are the people of ignorance. So let's take a look at the root word of ignorance. What is it? It's ignore. These people ignore the truth even though it's right in their faces. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he mentions in the Quran that he gives every man and woman signs and revelations that he is real and to change their ways, but they don't listen. So what do these signs and revelations entail? What sort of signs are we talking about? He says specifically, he shows them signs in the universe. So while they're awake, in the physical realm, they see weird things that are paranormal, that are sort of hinting that he's real and to change their ways. But they're like, oh, okay, maybe it's an illusion, maybe I'm tripping, whatever. God will send people into your life preaching God. You watching this video right now, do you think that's by coincidence? And then he shows them within themselves. What does that mean? Through their dreams, guys. He's going to give them messages through the dreams that are going to really speak to them. And they're going to be stirred up and be like, oh, that was a crazy dream. But most of them be like, oh, but it was just a dream. Okay, guys. We have to realize that this reality that we're in, at all times, God is trying to give us some sort of message. Either a good message, a warning, stuff like that. Okay, we have to be aware of this. Okay, everything in life has meaning. Everything. We just have to have a higher state of consciousness to be aware of these things and know what to look out for. And you might be asking, Carlos, why is it that good people that don't believe in God are going to down there? The thing is, guys, going to hell is a choice. These people made a choice to not have a relationship with God while they were still alive. And don't get me wrong, it's extremely unfortunate that this happened. They were deceived, and unfortunately, they were not informed by people like us that could have saved their soul. We gotta try our best. Please, please, please. Don't be ashamed of your belief. Don't be ashamed of your love of God, and to try to bring up God to people, because you never know the seed that you might plant. I'm actually going to share with you guys a story. So I've always believed in God, but I've never, for a long time, I kind of just strayed away from the right path, right? I was lost in the sauce, we'll call it. A long time ago, this is like 6-7 years ago, I was working at a homeless shelter. I was doing security at a homeless shelter. And, you know, we were trying to talk down this homeless guy. He was having an episode. And this older woman that worked with us, she said something that was very intriguing to me. I never really thought about this at the time. She said, that little voice that tells you to do good things in this life, That's God speaking to you. I'll never forget that. From that moment on, it planted the seed. It sparked my curiosity towards religion. And it took a long time, don't get me wrong. That was, I think, 2018. It took until 2021 till I finally opened up the Quran. I finally opened up the Bible and really started building that relationship with God. But that's all it takes, guys. That's all it takes. Make a little comment like that. Don't push your beliefs on people. Don't push them away. But just make little comments like that are kind of fascinating, intriguing, and then God will handle the rest. He will take care of the rest. So what happens when a person goes down there? First off, they're going to be judged by God, and they're going to receive their book of deeds in their left hand, meaning that they failed the test. They failed this life, and their judgment is to spend the rest of eternity down there. Okay, so the angel of death will carry their soul to the gates of hell, where the angels of hell will ask them, did a warner not come to you? Knowing full well they did. But the thing is, the warners came to these people and warned them and told them everything that I just told you guys. But these people that went down there never took them seriously. And as soon as they arrive in hell, the doors will be locked behind them. And it is at this moment they will realize that they are stuck there forever. And then they're going to be begging to God, please, please God, give me a second chance. Let me go back to this life and right my wrongs and build that relationship with you. And I'm going to be righteous, all that stuff. But what are they going to hear back? Silence. See, guys, after you pass away, there's no repenting. There's no apologizing to God. There is no second chances. This is it. All your cards are on the table. So if you're still living a life of sin, we got to try to turn this around, guys. While there's still time, while you're still alive, it's not too late. You can do this. These are my confessions. These are my confessions. So now we're going to discuss the deception surrounding hell, because there's a whole lot of it going around. So number one, it's a state of mind. Guys, this is very easy to fall into because it's super relatable. Fact of the matter is, hell is a real place. Number two, it's temporary. So for some reason, guys, in the Abrahamic religions, there seems to be this false belief that hell is a temporary place and that it's a place where sort of like you do your time per se, and then eventually you go to heaven. This is a complete fallacy, because it clearly states in both the Bible and in the Quran that hell is eternal. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even calls out these beliefs. He says that there are those people that arrogantly believe that hell, that they're just going to do their time in hell and then get out of it. He calls them out, word by word, straight from God, that this is a false belief. All right, guys, once you go to hell, you're stuck there forever. You need to fully realize the gravity of this situation. Number three, doesn't exist. All right, guys, so this is extremely popular with the vast majority of people. People who are secular, people who are atheist, and in New Age, all don't believe that hell is a real place. This is pure deception. Because when you don't believe that you're going to be punished for what you've done in this life, all your morality goes out the door. Not just your morality, but your effort towards pleasing God and having that relationship with Him. Because you don't care. You know, reincarnation, oh, I have another life to follow up. I don't care. I can just try again. Atheist, you know, oh, when I pass away, I'm just gonna go to sleep forever. So you're just gonna live a life of immorality. You're just gonna do whatever you want, do what thou wilt. Guys, believing that hell doesn't exist, not believing in God, this is a fast track to down there. So I know you guys believe, but there's people in your life, we gotta wake them up. Try your best, plant that seed. Number four, hell isn't gonna be that bad. This next reason, I gotta confess. These are my confessions. I was one of these people, all right? Good enough, the whole good enough mentality. So many people out there that are generally good people, they're not wicked people by any means, believe that if you're generally a good person, where if you don't murder people, you don't sexually essay people, that you're going to make it to heaven. This is 100% pure deception, guys. These people don't realize that a lifetime of small sins like lying, gossiping, lusting will accumulate over time, especially if this person never repents. And on top of that, these people almost always have no relationship with God whatsoever and only call on God when there is an emergency happening. Unfortunately, these people are not going to make it. So ultimately, guys, why did God create hell? One of the 99 names of Allah is Al-Hakam, which means the giver of justice. So God, in his perfect justice, rewards people for their good as well as punishes people for their bad. And what is the ultimate punishment, guys? It is separation from the goodness of God. Because we have to realize, guys, that everything good in your life comes from God. Every breath you take comes from God. The delicious food that you eat comes from God. The sun shining in your face in the morning comes from God. The love that you feel from your friends and family come from God. See, guys, in the Bible it says, He takes no pleasure in the death of the wicked. God wants nobody to go to hell. He wants everybody to make it to paradise, but everyone has a choice. And being generally a good person is not enough. You have to build that relationship with God and be as righteous as possible and repent whenever you mess up, because we all mess up and He knows that. So faith, prayer, righteousness, these things fall into having a relationship with God. And if you do these things, when a day comes that you take your last breath, you will evade hell and you will enter the gates of paradise. Inshallah. You know, guys, a few years ago, if you would have asked me a few years ago that I would have ended up doing this, what I'm doing right now, preaching on YouTube, I would have never believed you. I would have thought, you must be joking, right? Because I was really secular back then, and I didn't know much. But God had His mercy. He saw something within me, and He decided to illuminate my soul with His divine light and show me the truth. So here I am now, preaching on YouTube, trying to save souls for the kingdom of the light. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It honestly, when I was researching this video, there was a few times that I broke down. Because I really mean this, guys. I really don't want anyone to go down there, even my worst enemies. I pray that all you guys go to paradise. Yeah, anyways, God bless you guys, and always remember, guys, that every time you step outside your front door, your soul's at stake. Never forget that.